Carl, welcome to this week's In the Dugout, and we start with some big news, some positive news. The club have signed Jamie Thackeray on a one-year deal. What do you make to that?
Real good signing to us. You know, Jamie's got a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of confidence about him, and he's not bad at talking on the field as well and backing it up. But what we do know is last year we had a real good side, but we were a bit quiet on the field. Now Jamie's got that experience to talk to the opposition and talk to the players and get them fired up. And listen, he's raring to go. He's real keen to come, and he, it's a good fit for both of us.
He's a good talker. I mean, how big a signing is it? I mean, it shows the sign of intentions that the club has.
Yeah, listen, he's exactly what we need going forward. You know, when you just have a look at our forward pack, I mentioned something this morning with Fecker and Thax and Connor and Zach and Russ Spears and one or two others that I probably forgot to mention, but that's just the front row. So we've got a real big pack, and the key to everything is the fitness. And I'd probably like to announce who we're bringing in to try and address that. I'm happy, and the boys met on Monday, and I was quite impressed with what he had to say. But we've added to Gary identified we need to add to our strength and conditioning coach, and I'm happy to announce we brought in Reece Lovegrove. I think he'll be absolutely immense for us. I think he'd probably be the signing of the season, regardless of the players, because we've got a big side. The job was it's no good having a big side if they're not fit, and I'll tell you now, Reece is probably one of the fittest blokes going around, and he's played at a very high level in Super League, and he's had to give that up for one reason or another. But I'm pretty sure that the club's going to see a massive improvement with Reece at this club. How's
that come about? Because he was playing fairly recently for Hall KR, etc. How's he come to Doncaster?
Oh, listen, I'm pretty sure he heard a few whispers of some people. Maybe Paul Cook has had a chat with him, and he wanted to get into that side of the game, and he's heard what sort of a club we are and what we're trying to achieve, and it wasn't that hard to convince him to come to the club. Gary met with him, and he was basically on board. Now, I think he can see where we're trying to go. I can't reiterate enough how important he's going to be to the club. He's going to be huge. This, from what he said in the team meeting, excited me, and I thought, all right, get ready. The big boys, they're going to have some work to do. They're definitely going to have some mileage ahead of them. And all he's asking them is to give everything in training and have your fun, away from the training field. So he's going to be massive. It's a big signing for us, and as is Jamie Thackeray.
And also in that forward pack that you talked about is the re-signing of a constant, really, in Wellham, who's put pen to paper. He said that Doncaster gets a hold of you. Can you identify with that?
Well, I'm still sitting here, aren't I? So he's 100% correct there. It is a club that we all get on, and when you do come here, you enjoy yourself, and you don't want to leave. So I can totally understand where he's coming from, and hopefully the more success you can have and things like that, the players don't want to leave. Listen, there's one or two of the players who left this year didn't want to go, but they wanted to challenge themselves, and getting full-time deals, and that is you can't hold them back. You've got to let them go. So some real important signings this week for us, and I think there's a couple more to announce, and we're done. Like I said last week, we're done, and we've still had a few that have ringing up and wanting to come, but we're done. I do want to mention something about a little bit of a hiccup this week as well, if I can, Tom, with the with the Liam Wellham signing. What we're trying to do, we're trying to do a few things different and reward the season ticket holders. So we've got a brand new CRM system in place, and we went out with the news that for the season ticket holders to check their emails. And as everything in IT, with it being a brand new system and all that, whether we've put the numbers or the email addresses in not quite right, and we got quite a few that the email didn't get to, so we apologise for that, and we really mean that. But what we're trying to do is something new and reward them, like I say, and send them the news first before it goes out to the press the same day or the next day, and we'll continue doing that. What I would say for them who the email didn't reach, if they could just email us in their details, just so we can make sure and check that we've put the right details on the CRM. There was one person who we had down as NT Internet and it was BT Internet, so it's a simple error like that. But it was, it's something that, we make some massive signings and we don't get nothing for it, and we make a little mistake and we get absolutely blasted for it. So, it's not intentional, but it's something we do apologise for, and we'll try and rectify and get right.
And another positive of being a season ticket holder is the fact that if you buy before the 30th of November, you could have a big knock at the door.
Well, and maybe not just Fex will probably take a couple of the boys along with them. So, listen, the signings we've made, if you're not going to get your season ticket now, you're probably never going to get it. Obviously, we're showing our hand, and I'm sure they think now they realise what we intend to do this year, and that's to get promotion. So, it's all there for everyone to see. The signings are great. The pack, just that forward pack's big. Don't forget, there's a back row behind them, and then there's, some.
We've got a big fella on the wing who we haven't talked about yet in Richie Barnett, who the club has signed.
And he is big. I'll tell you now, we've got a really, really big side, a real big side across the board. A few of the boys after Monday's meeting, a few of them rang me up on the weekend and said, "Gee, I felt small in there." And that, I thought Jamie Thackeray was big. He was nowhere near the biggest in the room. And what I did come out of the meeting on Monday with and thought, "Geez, we're a big side." And so with a big side, you need to get them fit, really fit, and that's what Reece is here for. And listen, he's going to work him hard, and like I say, they've got a lot of mileage ahead of them to do. And
one of the early tests will be in a friendly against Leeds. That was announced this week, and it'd be good to welcome Brian Mack down to the Keepmoat again.
Oh yeah, and as everyone will see, it's he's going to bring a strong team. He's playing his full first team squad over that weekend. So he's told me he'll be bringing a tough team to try and tune them up before they start. Always great games, to have Leeds Rhinos come to us is great, and we appreciate that, and we thank them for it, and it's something we've done for the last couple of years now. So hopefully that will continue. It's not that we're in a partnership with them; it's just the relationship we've got with the club, and so we'll give them a good workout. Like I say, we've got a big team. I'm led to believe our team is bigger than the Hull team, so it's all looking good.
And talking of heavyweights, Australia, New Zealand, small matter of a game on Merseyside this weekend. How much are you looking forward to that?
I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a tough one, but nothing we can't do. It's I said on here a few times I would have wanted it to be England and New Zealand, but I'm pretty sure now the whole Anfield Stadium will be cheering the Kiwis on anyway, because Aussies knocked the English out last week, so I know most of the people I know will be going for the Kiwis, so hopefully we'll get them.
From an English point of view, Carl, how do they bridge that gap? Because there seems to be a clear chasm between 1, 2, and then lagging behind in third is England most often.
I don't think they're too far away. I really don't. They're just, again, they just need to tidy up some crucial errors they make it in the crucial stages of the game. I don't think they're a million miles away. They're getting better and better. The scoreline probably didn't reflect that game, but just little errors, fix them up, and they're not far. It's not a big gap. New Zealand England, nobody could pick the winner on that day, and there was only a point in it, and you know, you couldn't have picked the winner 10 minutes to go. So listen, they're getting closer, and I'm pretty sure they won't be too long before they get
consistency in the halves, perhaps.
Oh no, not really. Just they've got. The thing is, they've got some talented halves, but it's probably picking the right ones. Now, everyone has a view. You know, for me, I'd say again, when you play the Aussies, pick the English halfbacks because they're not going to know what they're going to do. You know, when you pick Widdop and all them against the Aussies, they know them. And a lot of the back in the day, you know, Andy Gregory and Sean Edwards and them, they didn't have a clue what these blokes were doing, and that's where they used to get them. So it's every man for himself. But for me, if I had out to do with it, I'd say, you know, when you're playing the Aussies and that, put the English halves in, or play as many of the English boys you can, because they're not familiar with what they'll do. You know, Kevin Brown looked alright, I thought, on the weekend, and I don't think they would have think he'd throw those long passes and that he was playing, because they probably don't do that a hell of a lot, you know. So it's every man for himself.
And finally, a quick word and congratulations to club friend and almost ambassador Jamie McDonald retained his WBA title in Monte Carlo at the weekend.
Yeah, and it was a tough one for him. You know, Jamie, knowing Jamie how I do, he wouldn't be happy, but you know, he battled it out. It was a tough fight, but what he needs is he needs someone in front of him who no one thinks he's going to win, and he goes and does it every time. You know, when he's got these sort of fights, he you know, you probably question how motivated he is for it. He can always say the right things and that sort of stuff, but Jamie McDonald proves everyone wrong time and time again with so you know, if he's to get a fight against Scott Quigg or those Ramanashi or whoever, Tamanaki, whoever they are, those two top boys, he'll probably win, and when nobody thinks he can, and that's the reason he doesn't get the credit he deserves, because you know, he can knock these big boys over, and people just say, oh well, he's the champion. But you know, when he has a fight like he did on the weekend, like I say, only Jamie knows how hard he really dug in and how prepared. He just wanted to fight, and that's out of the way, because otherwise he's going to go into those big fights, he's going to be rusty. So I'll back him all day long against a named fighter who he's really knows he's got to get that bit between his teeth and really slog and have a go with them, because he's tough. He's very, very tough, and he's a fit lad. So when he's motivated and when he's really on, you better believe me, he can do it.
Carl, thank you as always.
No worries.